Recording? Okay, recording. Okay. So I'm just, once again, David Knezovic. I'm a social worker. I work at the Oxford County Community Health Center. I run a youth housing program or housing support program for Oxford County. On screen, you should be seeing my program poster. We've posted this all over the place. You might have seen it in school. It's a fairly new program at this point. So I'm going to do a 3-part presentation for you. Part 1 is today, part 2 is next month, I think, and then part 3 will be in August. But once again, the way I've tried to make this conversation or craft it for people that are going to see it is you can come to one part and get something from it, or you can come to all 3 parts and just keep adding to your knowledge base and your toolbox. So my program information is on screen. I work with 16 and 17-year-olds. If you or you know someone in your life who is 16 or 17 and is couch surfing, staying with a friend or family and isn't able to live at home, or they're staying rough on the street, please get them into contact with me. Our goal is to help youth move forward and thrive and end youth homelessness in Oxford County. That's our goal, and it's possible. So you can contact me by, this number is my office, but really you can text or call my work cell, and I'll do the best I can to get back to you. We are, so I'm identify as he, him, his. In saying that, I'm comfortable in saying that I'm a member of the LGBT community. I can't guarantee positive space, but I'm definitely a safe, just because no one's perfect, I mean. Positive space to me isn't a sticker, it's constantly learning how to be a better ally to other people who need it. So with that being said, I'm gonna move on to today's talk. So today, one sec, just gotta get, so this was sort of the blurb that I worked on, or that your Youth Engagement Advisory Council at Wellkin crafted for me, which I think is amazing. Youth voices are, you're our future community, and it's really important that you have, that you're valued, acknowledged, and part of what we do in community. So my goal is partnering with youth that actually need to use the services or help other youth use services, and to constantly be and do better at that. So this is the blurb for the 3 weeks. You'll notice I highlight stuff a lot. If I was in person, I'd be clicking a pen and you'd be telling me to stop. So in this 3-part series, we explore the idea that secure housing is about a lot more than the roof over your head. Learn to navigate getting support, building relationships, and understanding housing supports. So with that being said, let's get going. So what I'd like to talk about this week is about that idea that a house is more than just bricks and mortar in a home. We have about just under 40 minutes to get through this. So what I'm hoping for is, I can stop sharing my screen now. What I'm hoping for is that I get a sense for you, people in the room, I want to get a sense for what a home and a family is to you. So for those on the line, I'm not sure what the best way to do this is, Jenna, but I want to ask people if they would be comfortable typing into the chat, so typing answers into the chat, or being able to give your ideas on screen. I'm not sure what people feel like. There's 6 of us in the room. We'll say 5 because I can't chime into it, but my question to the folks, or I guess the first activity I'd like to do is more interactive. So the question I'm asking is, what makes a home? What is a home to you? So what I'd like to do is, if you could, everyone in this chat, if you could write down a minimum of 5 words to say, you can certainly write as much as you want, the more the better, but take a moment to write down in some way what a home is. to you? Keywords that describe that. And feel free to put it in the chat. And we're going to take some time with this and then see what we come up with as a group. Okay? So what is a home to you? What makes a home? I lied, I'm going to join in too. So if somebody can help, I'm going to do my best to copy and paste these into a Word document. Yeah. I'm going to share my screen so you can see me typing it, but keep those words coming. Oh, I can't see the chat now. How does that work?
If you want, I can read them out for you.
Sure.
Okay, so we've got, from the start, we have comfort, companionship, warmth, love, comfort, feeling safe, comfort again, welcoming, trusting, welcoming, safe, true, honest.
Welcoming, trust, safe, sorry?
Safe, true, honesty, love.
Keep it going, friends.
The people who love, braver, space, a place where you don't have to hide, a place to be able to make mistakes. Open.
Sorry, not hide, open, and make mistakes.
Yep, a place to be able to make mistakes, open, honest. A place where you are safe to grow, emotionally, mentally, physically, all the growth.
Emotional, sorry, what were the other ones? Emotional, physical safety.
Mentally.
I'm getting type jitters. Safety.
Just so inspired by these words.
Mental safety. What else do we got? Keep them coming.
To be yourself.
Yeah, keep it going. We want to get as many as we can get. I'm just going to start arranging them as I hear them.
A place to joke around.
Yeah.
Friendship. To be supported by people who actually know you.
What else?
Gentle community. Love, trust.
Sorry, I'll keep you guys going until you got no more.
To make memories positive.
Yeah. Other things? Is there anything else?
Security.
Nice. Are we missing anything, folks? Keep them coming.
A place to sleep.
Oh, sleep. What else do you got? What makes a home to you?
Put my things, treasures. A place where you don't have to be afraid to take up space.
Can I shorten that to like have space?
Hmm.
Does that change it?
I'm not sure. They haven't answered yet.
Is that, or is it?
They
Go
said, I
ahead.
don't know if it changes it. It kind of does, but not by a lot.
Can you read the original to me again then?
The original said, a place where you don't have to be afraid to take up space.
Okay. Is there anything else we haven't seen or mentioned? What is a home to you? What makes a home? So I'm just gonna quickly rearrange these. Warmth, safe, love, 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 people who love, brave, space, not hide, open, make mistakes, open. Whoops. Yourself, joke around, friendship, supportive, community, gentle. Did community come up elsewhere? All right. Is
And
there
then
anything else?
one more was added, a place where you are valued.
Nice. Okay. Last call if you got anything else. Another way to look at it would be thinking about a place that you value. So someone else's home that you value. What do you see in that place that you would like in your own place? So is there any other, so pulling from examples outside of your own now, are there spaces or places that you value, and are there things from those places that make a home? Okay. So why don't we?
One more was added, David, a
Oh,
good
sure.
couch.
A good couch. Yep. And you know, it's interesting how some of these things, depending on who you ask, could mean something entirely differently. Something as simple as comfort. What is comfort? What makes a home welcoming for me doesn't necessarily make a home welcoming for you. Trust, all of these things. All of these things can be interpreted differently. And that's an important piece when it comes to a happy, healthy, functioning home. And we're going to lead into some of this stuff. This is great. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if folks are familiar with word art, but we'll see if it works and we'll see what it comes up with. So I just had to make sure that it was rearranged properly so that it knows what to do with it. So let's just see what happens. I just need to change the layout to be. Do you like this one or do you like a different color? I'll play around with the way it looks, but I mean, this is just like, this is a list we just came up with in what, 8 minutes? Is that about? Where's that list again? Aye. So we made this list with 6 people in about 8 to 9 minutes. And we could probably spend hours. I know I can. People who know me know I can. We could spend hours talking about what these things are to me as a person, to people that are close to me, to people that aren't as close to me, to people I work with, just to random people in the community. You could literally, all of these things are different. So back to our Wordle. Oh no. I was hope that's better. I'll change it to something. I want to send this to I'll send this to Jenna so that she can distribute it for people, but take a look at that, and I'm just curious if people want to add into the comment section, when you see this, like, what do you think about? Where does your mind go when you see this? What do you think about first? I ask a lot of questions, but I want people to start thinking about this stuff. One of the biggest challenges I ran into starting this housing program is this idea of what is housing? Such a basic question. So, well, not basic. It's pretty loaded, and it means a lot of things. So, is a home a place to sort of, where'd it go? Sleep? Is that it? Is a home like a place that I just go to and sweet, I have a home? Or do I just have a house? Am I okay with that? Do I feel like my house is an open place to make mistakes, to joke, to be physically safe? It actually separated our words for us. Safety popped up, separate. That's pretty cool. So I mean, these things that pop up the most, they showed up they're big because they showed up the most in the words that you came up with. And this is really important. Our home, it's a physical space to be, but it doesn't stop there. It's about so much more. These big words are things that we value the most in this group. These are the words we came up with. The words that show up a bit smaller aren't not important. They're just not as prominent. They're not as, yeah, they're things that are important to us. But I find this really neat. I'm going to share this with you. So what is a home? Do people know what, when I say families or homes are a system, is that something that people can relate to or understand when I say it? A family is a system, a home is a system. Yep, I see a check mark. And I mean, I think this is one of the things that can, we really have to look at. A lot of the work that we can do is really, really, really individual. It's about you as a person. How are you coping? What's happening? What can we do about that? I think part of it is about understanding what life is like at home. Understanding what's happening around you is important. Important and able to understand, to identify it, to acknowledge it, to start thinking about what those things are and how they affect us. All of that leading to how can we make a change or do something different. So it's a balance between you as a person, but also the environment that you live in. This is classic psychology stuff, person and environment. None of this is new stuff, but it's important to understand, and especially from your place as a youth in a family that in a house that you don't necessarily have control over. What do we do with that? How do we learn? How do we move forward? So I'm going to flash a couple of pictures up on the screen just to, whoop, not that one. there's a couple of things that let's do this one first. Sorry. This is like a classic one that you might see. I was hoping that would be a bit bigger. Oh no. Whoop. Wow, technical difficulties, David. Try that again. Ah. So sorry, friends. I am not quite sure why it's not zooming in for us, but no. Okay, so what you have here, it's a classic thing called ecological systems theory. If you place yourself in the middle and then sort of everything happens around you, this is a pretty old model or theory that we use and learn about in things like social work school, sociology, psychology. But the idea is you can place yourself at the center, and then from there, you've got individuals and peers in the center with you. So you're right in the middle. And then you've got individuals and peers around you. So that's people that you live with, that's people that you talk to every day that are closest to you. So peer group, added, all that stuff. And then out of here, you've got like your extended family. You've got anyone who doesn't live with you, but that you really consider family. Outside of that, you can see school. So any connections you have through school, and then community. I like this one because sometimes this example goes really big, way bigger than an individual person. But for the context of youth, I think this fits really nicely. So you can look at it this way. Family, you're not just one person in the world. You've got all these other things around you going on that you interact with. You can see the arrows that interact with you, that interact with your family. They're all connected, right? We can look at systems a different way. For some, it might be something like this. Oh my goodness. This is, I'm usually way better with computers than this. So, I mean, if you're a visual person, you can think of systems in other ways too. So, I mean, something like a garden. And you start to think like, you know, in order for a person to grow roots, what do they need? In order for a family to operate well, what does a family need? In order for a family to do well in community, what does that family need? You can just kind of keep blowing it up bigger and bigger. Another visual you can look at is like for people that like cars, like, whoop, it's gonna start working for you. But the point is, and I'm probably hitting this just way too much, but I really want you to start thinking about, you know, there's lots of stuff going around us that affects us as individuals and families, and you know what can we do with that information to do well? Okay. So something that we talk about a lot is when you come into the housing program, one of the first questions you might be asked is, who's in your life? Is there anybody who you trust really well that you know you can rely on? How can we rely on that person right now? What do we do? Can we connect with them? Can we talk to them? Can I help you connect with them and talk to them? We start building up who's around you in order to make a home, but we also sort of look at what's happening where you're living right now, and is there anything that we can do differently? Is there something in your control that we can change? Is there something not in your control that I can help you change? If we learn, for example, which parts of the engine that is your family is struggling to fire a piston, what is that? How do we find it? What can we do with it? How are we willing to contribute together to make that happen? How do we stop misfires from happening? Is it communication? Is it some people lost their jobs during COVID? Can we help stabilize that for the family or for yourself as an individual? I'm just throwing a lot of questions out because it's not just about bricks and mortar. It's about so much more than that. And the goal of a good housing program, especially one that works with youth, is that we know it's not just about the youth and what may be individually happening. And we need to help make that work better or find out what you need to be safe, um, what you need to feel like it's a physically, emotional, psychological space that is safe for you to be and thrive. Um, Other things that I'm running out of time, I see. This is something that I use a lot. Again, like nothing new. This takes us back to 1943. The question that I'll often say to people is, and maybe there's youth that will see this that can relate, but let's say, people are asking you, like, why aren't you doing good in school? Um, why are you, why are, sorry, why aren't you doing good in school? How come you're not showing up? You used to be such a good student. Um, have we asked about this? More importantly, oftentimes when kids come to my program or to the teams that I work with, um, a lot of people are very focused on this piece. We're all guilty of it. This is that a fancy word that really just means thrive and reach for whatever is possible for you. We all skip to this right away. One of the reasons that that happens is because maybe we haven't had to go without this. Maybe we don't know what it's like to not ever do this. This is what you achieve when a lot of these things are there for you. So when you come to me, if someone comes to me, your friend comes to me and they say, I haven't been going to school, I'm really struggling to think, I don't have anyone. And kids come and say that. We're gonna start here. And it's funny, well, it's not funny, sorry, but we can go back to, I totally hope I didn't close that word or I'm gonna cry. I did. So I don't have it to go off of, but one of the first questions I'm gonna ask you is who's in your life? Who can we contact today that you know that we can trust that could help provide this first piece? We need to secure this stuff first. I want you to go to school. I want you to thrive. I want you to be the best person that you can be. But I want those building blocks to be there first. When kids come to me at 16 and 17, I'm interested in what's happened. I'm interested in helping you get connected to deal with what's happened to you, but I'm also curious about where you're going. What do you want? What do you desire? What do you still dream about? How do I get you back here? Which is where everybody needs to be in our community. But again, if we can't address a safe place to sleep, a safe place to be, a safe place to make mistakes, a safe place to joke, be comfortable, receive honesty, love, all that stuff, we need this first. So you'll hear me and people I work with ask you a question like, how do we do this? And then when we've achieved this, how do we level up to safety and enable that? But widely accepted in theory, we cannot do this without sort of having this. We can't have this without having this. We can't have this without all of this. Okay? Some of the other stuff that we're going to talk about, if you come see me, is the importance of you buying into your own goals and plans. So you don't have to fit into my program to be helped. I'm actually going to try and fit into you, like fit to what your goals are. I want to know what those goals are. I want to know what makes you feel physically, emotionally, physically, psychologically, and emotionally safe so that you can do this. What are your goals? Do you need counseling? Maybe you're not ready for it. We can do that at some point. We can connect you. This is it's super. I think it's super basic. There's a picture that I typically have, but I don't have it on me right now. Darn it. I'm gonna pause and just, I guess, ask people, is there any questions you have? This is more about concept today. The next two groups will head into like practical things about rallying supports, communication and problem solving related to your housing needs. But I'm just curious if folks have any questions.